a bit of a marathon this morning, so I'll just start with that. So I'm up here. I'm just going to give you an overview this morning because this is such a wonderful place to come up to show you the sights of the valley that I live in. I'm then going to quick drive in the Diane to get back down into Tuchan. And then at 9 o'clock, we have Joe Simon joining us with the Guess the Wine competition. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully it's all going to work. If it doesn't, then we'll reschedule with Joe. We had a bad connection yesterday, so don't worry if it doesn't happen. We will reschedule at another time. But great to see all of you. And before I start, this morning, I've actually put my email address at the top of the screen. So it's just to let you know, we're doing our Zoom quiz. So the Ramblers Zoom quiz on Wednesday evening, so tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock UK time. If you'd like to join, either send me a direct message and I can send you the link, but it's actually best if I send you it by email. So if you can send me your emails and I will send you the link so you can just copy the link. So I think that's all of that done. So where am I this morning? Well, let's take a look here. I hardly need my tea towel this morning because I've come up to this most wonderful, hi Mum and Dad. Guess where we are, Mum and Dad? We've been here before. We've had ice creams up here. So it's a viewpoint just above the village of Tuchan. And if I just step back a bit, you can see there's this lovely tiled information centre here. And it's actually going to do my job for me this morning because if we take a look, so here we have the Tour de Totavel. Tour de Totavel. Oh, for the Ramblers party as well. I think it'd be really good if you all came dressed as Ramblers. So if you've got anything you can wear that makes you look like Ramblers, be fantastic. So we're really going to have a rambling party. It's going to be a quiz as well. So that hence the little overview today, just to remind you of certain things on my rambles that I've been doing. But here in the distance is the Tower of Totavel. The Tower of Totavel. And then just coming back, look at this lovely cloud. There's actually some dogs next door, but I'm trying to ignore them. And then here we've got the Canigou, wonderful snow-capped Canigou here. And that rises, here we can see, it actually rises to 2,786 metres in the background. And then we pan round. Now, I was going to show you all the vineyards, but unfortunately there's this lovely layer of cloud in the valley, so we can't actually see anything. But in this direction is the village of Paziol. So Paziol, I think it's 350 population, little tiny village. I used to live there when I first got here 25 years ago. And then panning round, you can see directly opposite me is the gorge. It's a wonderful limestone gorge with river swimming that takes you through to Padern and on to Cucugnan and Maury. So my vineyard in Maury, where it all started, is through there. It's through the little gap there. And let's have a look on the tiled viewpoint we have here. So we have the Plaine Viticole. So you can't actually see that at the moment. And the Gros de Padern. So that's the valley, the limestone gorge going through into Padern, the Gros de Padern. And then let's pan round. We've got the Montoche at 917 metres. So this wonderful limestone mountain is the Toche Mountain. And the little tiny village of Tuchan, you can just see it above the cloud. So just above the cloud is Tuchan. We know how to pronounce Tuchan. Number 2, and Chon, like the sun. Tuchan. Just peeping up above this low-laying cloud this morning. So that's where I live. That's where I've come up from this morning. And then turning around this way, we've got behind this tree is the Narbonne direction. So if I come up here. When I first got here, Mum and Dad will remember this, when we first arrived here, there was a little lady selling ice creams in this viewpoint up here. So this was always known as the ice cream spot. So I'm not actually in a vineyard this morning. I'm just giving you an overview of the valley so you really get the feeling of where I live from the viewpoint. We call it La Grignoterie. La Grignoterie, this is what it's known as, the viewpoint, and that's because grignoter is to nibble, and there used to be this little cafe here. There isn't anymore, but it's still known as a grignoterie. And there in the distance, just in the shadow, is the Chateau d'Aguilar. So there's the Chateau d'Aguilar in the background, and beyond that we have the town of Narbonne. And if we just come back around to the Toche, we have behind that the town of Carcassonne. So Carcassonne, it's about an hour and a quarter from us here in Tuchan. So if we look down on the tea towel, and just, I've been getting on tomorrow night for our Ramblers Christmas party on Zoom, we're going to be having a little quiz. So there'll be 10 questions for you to answer, and there's some really good prizes up there as well. Some wine glasses, t-shirts, and also the tea towel. So it should be really fun evening. I'm really looking forward to it. If you'd like to join us, please just direct message me and send me your email, and I will send you the link there. So on the tea towel, hardly need a tea towel this morning, but we've come out on the D39 up here, and we're actually just round here, up here, looking down. Let's have one more look at this wonderful view. The vineyards are all covered by the cloud this morning, but if we just think back at what we've seen over this area, in this direction was the vineyard of Saint-Roch. So the Saint-Roch vineyard with the yurts next to it, that's where my Fitu comes from, or came from originally. That's where I got the gold medal for the 2010 vintage. Then if we pan round directly opposite, we have the Syrah vineyard of La Caune, where Jean-Marc was building the wild boar fence not so long ago. And then in the plain we have Fortaleza, Les Cruzel, Grenache vineyards, Grenache Blanc, Grenache Gris, and then almost at the beginning of the Gorge de Parderne we have L'Espice. L'Espice is a Grenache vineyard. And then panning round on the top here, although you can't really get the sensation of height this morning because of the cloud, but there's the area known as the Pilou, and that rises behind the village of Paziol. And in actual fact, the Pilou has the same, it's where I have Col de la Loze, so 5 little tiny vineyards up there above Paziol. And that has the same soils as I do behind me. So it's at the same height. Oh, the sun's just coming up. It's at the same height as this plateau here. And there's rounded stones from the glacial period. And you find those as well on the top, because we're at the same height. So on the top, round here. So if we follow that round, the same height above Paziol, the same glacial stones, rounded stones there, and the wonderful Canigou. And if we're just thinking back as well, we started before the leaves had even come out on the vine. So we went through the whole growing season together. So, yes, just trying to think of some questions that I'll be asking you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK time. Right, so that was the wonderful overview here, or the viewpoint rather, from above Tuchan, and just such a wonderful day to see that. Look at this cloud. So just one more, and if you can hear if I shut up, you can hear the birds as well. So we just have a moment for the birds. And I know Jo, who's coming on in a minute, loves the birds. She can usually recognise what they are. So Jo Simon joining me in a little while for the Guess the Wine competition. Wow, it's quite difficult not to talk actually. So for those of you who've just, see, I can't do it, I can't not talk. For those of you who've just joined, Tim and Hog 4965, great to see you. We're just up on a viewpoint above the village of Tuchan that you can just see down there in the valley, and we're about to drive back down in the Diane now. So I'm going to get in the Diane, and we're actually going to go and drive through that cloud. So if you stay with me, and I'm then be signing off and hopefully linking up with Jo for the Guess the Wine competition. So here we go. Off we go. Hello, Diane. And the sun just rising here. Oh, it's just lovely. Morning, Diane. Oh, I can see the wild boar. I've even been up here at the Grignoterie. They've been turfing up the soil. Looks really fresh, must have been last night. It was a bit steamy in the Diane earlier on. So there we are, the wonderful Diane interior. And off we go. We're basically going to go down the hill into the village of Tuchan. So, you're sitting comfortably, off we go. And then I'm going to be signing off and signing back in again for Guess the Wine. So please start, Diane. Iron Bridge, not the Iron Bridge, into Tuchan. So just surrounded by vineyards. So most of these vineyards belong to people, members of the local cooperative. A couple of people out pruning. And now around and into, well, we're on the plain already, still a bit misty here in Tuchan this morning. Somebody's planted some olive trees on the left. And here we are, the wonderful sign of Tuchan. Another very smooth gear change, and we'll just drive up the main street in Tuchan, and then I'm going to leave you and I'm going to pop back on the screen in about 5 minutes with Joe Simon. Joe Simon, who I've known for years, and Joe wrote for the Sunday Times for over 20 years, so she was the wine critic on the Sunday Times for over 20 years, probably one of the best known wine writers in the UK, so I'm really excited about seeing Joe in a minute. So here we go, up into the village of Tuchan, main streets. Tanker. Get past that. The bank on the right. My winery is on the left. Main street coming into Tuchan, known as a faubourg. The cafe's just been sold, changing hands, so waiting for the new owners to open. Change into first. Have to stop to change into first. And past the gendarmerie, where they've just painted the shutters, brand new shutters on the gendarmerie. Woo! And then up past the health centre, the retirement home, the modern housing estate, my ex-parents-in-law, and out the other side of Tuchan. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to go and sign back on in about 5 minutes, and hopefully we'll have Joe Simon with us for tasting the mystery wine, and you could actually win the mystery wine today. So look forward to seeing you in a couple of minutes. Bye everybody. Bye.